That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy.
They were talking about you in such a favorable light. The audience was cheering, and then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Joe Biden knows how to do this. Trump. Yeah. He tends to just...
In today's video, Joe Rogan takes a deep dive into the shifting political stances of The View and its iconic hosts, particularly Whoopi Goldberg and...
You know who made a campaign stop on the Joe Rogan podcast Friday night? And with all the issues Americans are going to be voting on, you know where they started the interview? Take a look.
It was the episode of you when you were on The View. And I think it was 2015 or 2006, like when you were running for president.
Right.
Okay, let's stop there. There's a lot of fake news coming up, so we're going to clear some of it up as it happens. He was actually, in that clip, is 2011, 4 years before he announced he was running. Okay? That's the first thing they got.
Joy Behar. He calls out what he perceives as blatant hypocrisy in their ever-evolving relationship with Donald Trump.
Got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
So, here's the actual appearance.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy.
But did I look?
Intro 2. Rogan doesn't hold back as he contrasts how The View once warmly embraced Trump with how they now vehemently oppose him. This stark flip-flop has caught his attention, prompting him to question whether the change is driven by principle.
Average out The View hosts among the dumbest people on television. And it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth.
I don't think Sonny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked, and half baked, and you went on stage with it, and it's nothing.
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah.
Or merely a reaction to shifting media and political climates. Rogan recalls a time in the early 2000s when the hosts celebrated Trump, introducing him as a friend and even encouraging his presidential ambitions. Their admiration seemed genuine as they asked about his future plans, but fast forward to today, and Trump has become a divisive figure, with Whoopi and Joy leading the charge against him, labeling him a threat to American democracy.
It is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies-infested hen.
Intro 3. Rogan questions whether this shift stems from changes in Trump's behavior or values, arguing instead that it reflects broader cultural and political pressures. He wonders if the host's intense opposition is rooted in genuine conviction or simply in following the latest media trends. Rogan critiques their selective outrage, pointing out that Trump's core beliefs haven't drastically changed over time. What has changed, he asserts, is the media narrative surrounding him, leading to The View's complete reversal in their portrayal of the former president.
Like Barbara, she said be polite to guests no matter what. Yes. And for the most part, I got through. I did it like I do now. But here's where they really messed up. Watch.
They're talking about you as such a favorable light.
Honey, Joe, I think you missed this part. Take a look.
I want him to show his birth certificate. There's something on that birth certificate that he doesn't like.
Oh my God,
that's a terrible
that is
thing
just
to do.
I'm telling you. 3 pounds.
Donnie, I love you.
Donald,
I'm telling
I love
you.
you too. I think that's the biggest pile of dog mess I've heard in any.
Rogan's critique goes further as he dives into the language used by the hosts, particularly in their discussions about social justice and woke culture. Whoopi Goldberg has emphasized that The View has always been attuned to the struggles of marginalized groups, insisting that these communities don't want to be spoken down to. However, Rogan takes issue with this rhetoric, calling it performative and hypocritical. He points to the show's past celebration of Trump before his political career as evidence that their current stance may not reflect a true commitment to progressive values. Instead, Rogan argues, it's about aligning with the prevailing political climate.
Like Barbara, she said be polite to guests no matter what.
Yes.
And for the most part, I got through. I did it like I do now. But here's where they really messed up. Watch.
They're talking about you in such a favorable light.
Honey, Joe, I think you missed this part. Take a look.
I want him to show his birth certificate. There's something on that birth certificate that he doesn't like.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
that's a terrible
That is
thing to
just
say.
Whoopi, I'm telling you.
He was
3 pounds.
Donnie, I love you. I'm
Donald,
telling
I love
you.
you too. I think that's the biggest pile of dog mess I've heard in
5. Rogan's argument goes deeper, suggesting that public figures, including the hosts of The View, should be held accountable for their role in shaping public opinion. He asserts that media outlets like The View have a responsibility not just to entertain, but to avoid spreading misinformation or making broad generalizations about public figures without solid evidence. Rogan challenges the idea that being a public figure automatically
Joe has allowed all kinds of people to come on. People we agree with, people we don't agree with. I've not been a fan of this man's. I don't like how he talks to us. I don't like how he talks to the nation. So I have not really had much to say until he started running for president. Then I could say everything I needed to say. My face said everything.
makes someone fair game for sensationalist attacks. He questions whether the hosts are truly committed to the causes they claim to champion, or if they're merely playing to public sentiment to remain popular. Rogan even suggests they invite Trump back for an open conversation to prove their convictions, but he doubts that.
You can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I
He
mean
rambles. Trump.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just.
But can I mention one thing?
They'll take this step, as it might expose the superficial nature of their criticisms. So, what do you think of Rogan's analysis? Is The View guilty of hypocrisy and
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it. We don't want anybody to have any sort of way to get it down. The episode of you when you were on The View, when you were running for president.
Right.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. But does he really want to add President of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to.
You got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
Please let's find out, and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
pandering to progressive trends, or are they simply reacting to the real-world impact of Trump's actions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth commentary on the latest cultural and political debates. Thanks for watching.